As you guys know, we have boot camp that's coming up on the 31st of January here in Las Vegas. It is a totally crazy, swinging from the rafters, um, sold out boot camp. So I'm still trying to see if I can figure out how to live stream it without it costing me a fortune. But if any of you guys can still come that aren't coming, get there because it's going to be great. But the other thing you also want to get in your calendars is really, I know that they just had an insane, awesome event in Dallas. I heard it was beyond extraordinary. So these summits are a big thing you want to be building for. That of the ones that are coming up in Charlotte in June, the one in, there's going to be one in Chicago. There's another one that's taking place in Providence, Rhode Island. So you definitely want to make sure to get those in your calendars, but it's all about events, and really getting people to the events and, and making sure that you're putting on events. But remember, guys, I would also encourage you guys to download Eric Worre's podcasts, because even just those 10, 15-minute podcasts every day, just listening to one every day, you're going to make so many distinctions of how really to grow your business. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it on over to Mollie, and her and Lindsey are going to take you guys through a call. All right? Mollie, it's all you.
Perfect. Thank you, Lauren. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. My name is Mollie, and Lindsey and we just kind of ran this call earlier this week with ourselves, and we wanted to share it with everyone to kind of get your thoughts on it. So we would love feedback. It's pretty short and sweet, but we are very excited. So Linz, are you ready? There you are.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. All right, everyone. So my name's Mollie, and I am a registered nurse, and I have the privilege of sharing this call with Lindsey, who is an urban farmer. Between the two of us, we put our heads together, and we have come up with tips and tricks to get in high quality nutrition during the winter months. How to really give yourself the gift of health when finding healthy foods can be a little bit more difficult when fresh produce isn't as readily available. Just a little bit more background information. Lindsey is an urban farmer. This has been her first year farming with her husband for their farm, Local Fresh Farms, selling at the farmers market. And they have just learned so much. And I'm really excited for her to share from the farming side of things, how we can really get the good stuff in during the winter months. So like I said, short and sweet, we've got 5 tips and tricks. So Linz, go ahead and take it away.
Hello, everyone. So yeah, this was our first year of farming, and it has taught me so much more about fresh produce than I could ever imagine. Like, I thought I was eating healthy and getting enough fruits and vegetables in, and it's mind-blowing to learn about different kinds of ways that you can get fresh produce in, especially in the winter months. It's super hard. Like, I know a lot of the farmers, since it's snowing here in Kansas City, we don't really have anything in the ground unless you have a greenhouse. So during the winter months, I like to buy as much fresh produce in the grocery store as possible. But I recently learned that a lot of the produce that you buy at like Hy-Vee, or I don't know if many of you shop at Walmart, but farmers pick the produce before it's ripe, put it in a big truck, and then pump it full of chemicals to get it ripe and ready and beautiful looking to sell at the grocery store. So next time you like buy an apple, kind of cut it open and look and like feel the outside of it. There's like a little bit of like a waxy feel to it, which I never noticed until recently. So when you are shopping at the grocery store, it's always best to shop around the grocery store than in the center of the grocery store. I start like in the produce aisle, get as much produce, as fresh produce as I can. Some produce that's in season right now from November to March, it's slim pickings, but broccoli, Brussels sprouts, carrots are always a good go-to snack, kale, mushrooms, peas. As far as fruit, there's not much fresh fruit in the wintertime in the Midwest. It's pretty much just anything with citrus in it, so lemons, limes, oranges, avocados. So it is slim pickings. So whenever I make smoothies and stuff, I always go to frozen foods over canned foods, like whether it's vegetables or fruit, because if you look at the ingredients, it's just berries. So like say you buy a bag of blueberries, it's just blueberries and the ingredients. They take the blueberries and freeze them. Whereas you buy, like, say you buy canned green beans instead of frozen green beans, it's packed full of sodium and preservatives to keep it fresh in a can. So always go frozen over canned as much as you possibly can. Another good way is, like, in the wintertime, sometimes farmers have pop-up farmers markets. So like get on Facebook and see who your local farmers are. Another good thing that is super awesome, it's called a CSA, which is community supported agriculture, and you can get in touch with any local farmer and you pay a certain amount each week and they ship you or drop fresh produce off every week. Fresh produce that's locally grown at your doorstep every single week. It's amazing. So keep that in mind. I would Google it, get in touch with any farmer friends on Facebook. And then one more super easy thing is I grow fresh herbs in a jar and just keep them in my windowsill in my kitchen, because incorporating fresh herbs in your salad and anything that you're cooking, chicken, rice, anything, it's always good to go fresh over bought in a store. So super easy. I think I got grow lights at IKEA for $3, and I just saved an old salsa jar and planted rosemary or mint or oregano, any fresh herb that you want, and then it's right there on your windowsill that you can pick fresh every day. So just some tips and tricks to keep in mind through the winter months when it's harder to get fresh produce delivered to your door. So yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Lindsey. So just to recap those, buying fresh, knowing what's in season is super important so that you're getting, so that you're getting the best, you're getting the freshest. Shopping around the store's got all good stuff. Buying frozen versus canned. I love how she said, I pulled out a bag of frozen green beans and the ingredients is literally just green beans. I also love, I don't know if you guys are big, like you look for the non-GMO sticker, but I like to look for that as well. So super great to stick to frozen versus canned if you can't get fresh. I also love the herb jars. That's so great. And she didn't show it to you guys, which is totally fine. But we also have our aeroponic gardens. And I know Lindsey has hers up and going right now, which is also a super awesome way to get in your fresh produce through the winter months. It's great because you can grow inside in literally a 3x3 foot space with no soil and just a water-based system. Literally, it's foolproof. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And then it's great in the summer months because you can chuck it outside as well. So that is also just a great option. And then the fifth tip and trick that I wanted to mention, of course, is our secret weapons that we use year round. And that would be the produce powders that we have in our capsules or chewies. I'm out of my vineyard powders, so I got my chewies here. It's almost impossible to get in 9 to 13 servings a day. And I love how Lindsey shared everything from the farming perspective. And I did mention earlier that I'm a nurse. I'm an ER nurse. And, it's no secret that people are more sick in the winter months. You see a rise of flu, strep, all those yucky things, sinus infections, people missing days of work and school. Why do you think that is? Because November through February, it's really hard to get fresh produce. You're buying less fresh produce, you're getting less fresh micronutrients in. And at that, you're super limited. Lindsey listed the fruits that you can get are more citrus-based ones. The veggies are very limited. So we like to rely on our handy dandy produce powders that give us that wide variety of the quality nutrients that are picked when they come right off the vine. And are encapsulated for us so that we're getting the best of the best. It's just our health insurance throughout the year. We eat them year round, but there's an increased focus in the winter months when you can't get the fresh produce in the store. So you always can have it in your cupboard. And that's our fifth little secret weapon there Thank you guys so much for sharing with us. I also loved, how she talked about getting in contact with the CSA. That's totally cool. And if you go to farmers markets, if you're a frequenter of farmers markets, grab their cards. I know some of the ones where I'm at, and I'm in a teeny tiny little town, they'll offer cards so that you can stay in contact with them, which I think is perfect. Stay connected with them year round and be networking with them so that you're always in the loop with what's fresh and what's going on. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. That was great.
Thanks. So that was just kind of a fun presentation we did, and we plan on, continuing it on throughout the year as the seasons change to be offered to be able to still continue offering tips and tricks, from the farming perspective and also from the healthcare side as well. I think it shows really interesting dynamic of the two. And so if you guys want to ever join us in these calls, we would love that.
So you're doing a Zoom event?
Yeah. Yep, we do.
Yeah, and also, like, I know all the farmers market friends I have, like, if you just become friends with them, it's awesome, because then you get, like, even me as a farmer, I didn't grow some of the stuff that other people grew at the farmers market, and it was awesome because I was able to, like, trade with them or, like, stay in contact with them where I could get fresh produce that I didn't have. And having a farmer friend is always nice because then you can get
not going out of
produce.
style.
Yeah, then you can get fresh produce as much as you want.
One of my distributors has done the extension, and she actually is just doing some videos daily about her tower.
Oh,
so
awesome.
Be some input.
Oh yeah, that's me.
Yes, Karina. Yeah, and she's showing her new extension, and while you mentioned, like, put it in your kitchen on your counter with your grow light, maybe lead to the fact that you can do that. That's like minimally, but then also we have the extension, and you can get the lights, and you can do that, and it will yield you so much more.
Yes.
Yeah, I have my tower garden up in my laundry room right now, and it's awesome. We're growing lettuce and some fresh herbs in it. So yeah, I love it. It's awesome to just have it and be able to go pick lettuce right in your kitchen and make a fresh salad when there's 6 feet of snow on the ground. It's amazing.
But I love what you said, Kimberly, about how pointing out that, and that's kind of what we want to do, include, showing that you can do the herb jars. You can start basic, and it's something that, like, is so easy that you can do, but then you can also, like, how basic a tower garden still is, how it does it all for you. And like you said, yields more as well. I love that.
Yeah, and like if you see Karina's, because I don't have the extension of that one, I have the extension to my tower, but I don't have the herb extension, which is
right.
She has, like, I think 30 more pods, which you can grow the microgreens, the little mini greens for the salads, and the things that are extremely fragile. Mm-hmm. So that's just something to think about, because those need, like, intricate attention once you harvest them. So you could put that in your kitchen, but they're not going to survive, just knowing from personal experience of growing. I've been sprouting for decades. They're not going to survive an environment unless they have the right protection around them. So that's why the tower is so good for those little micronutrients and microgreens. And we can just pick as we need so they don't die off. So that's just something to think about, because it really helps, like, at another level of nutrition too.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that's something great that we could add to this call to mention about how, like you said, how they need the intricate attention, but the tower garden allows for that.
Hey, I just want to share about the extension. I have it right here behind me. So I didn't realize that with the microgreens extensions, you get 32 pods, and you don't get the little plastic black thingies. I don't forget the baskets. You don't have to use the baskets. So these go straight in there. And what I did is I moved my kale from the bottom to the top to make room for some cucumbers, and they're perfectly fine. So you could even use them for your other greens. Because what I'm doing is I'm just, like, removing my old stuff and replacing them with new ones. But yeah, I realized, you know what, I can use the top just like I do the bottoms, and then I'm going to keep my bottoms just for my cucumbers. And I started with some tomatoes, and like the bigger stuff, maybe like your celery, which I haven't started yet. But this thing is freaking awesome. Look at this.
That's
Like,
amazing.
I love it. Like, I haven't bought lettuce for us, and we eat salads every day for like a month now.
That's amazing. All right.
Thanks for
Well,
sharing.
that's all we had that we were going to share. I don't know if anyone else has anything. I'm not sure if Lo's still on here or not. I feel like she might have popped off.
Hey, I do have a question. Is there one place where we have a directory or a compilation of all of the calls that are going on? Because I know we have calls that we can invite our potential customers or potential representatives, but I see posts and emails and they're all over the place. Is there one place where we can put everything so we can just go look what's going on this week? And maybe if that such place does not exist, maybe maybe I could start like a Facebook group where everybody can